We are live. Welcome. Welcome to the Thursday Night Call-In Show, where we get together on Thursday nights and you call in our show. And the premise is that it's Thursday nights and people call in and I talk to them, real live people like you. And funny enough, you would think that people don't really call in with serious questions. They just call in to like dreh a cup, wie man sagt auf Yiddish. But that's not true, actually. All of our callers are like really amazing, and our experience has been really great with people sharing really, I guess I would say, vulnerable stuff and honest stuff, and it's been incredible. We've been doing it. How many shows have we been doing? Yisrael, let me know. Is this our 9th show? If it's our 10th show, we should have done a little celebration about it. Oh, I got to mention, tonight's show is dedicated. Tonight's show is dedicated. One second. I want to read the dedication correctly. Tonight's show is dedicated in honor of Rabbi Leibel and Chaya Shem Tov, Chabad of Traverse City. Do you guys know where Traverse City is? It's in Michigan. There's an airport there, Traverse City. I think it's maybe Cherry something. What's it called? I don't know. I flew into it a couple times. It's a little airport. And anyways, yeah, the Shem Tovs are there. And they are creating a revolution of Jewish Renaissance in Traverse City. So they don't even know probably that this was dedicated for them, but one of their big supporters and friends and fans dedicated tonight's show in their honor. Okay. So some of you are tuning in for the first time, so you're probably not even wondering what this giant thing is on my desk. But those of you who have tuned in before, you're like, I never saw a giant thing on Rabbi Taub's desk. You're right. So would you care to hazard a guess what this giant thing is on my desk? By the way, BTW, as the kids say in texting acronyms. BTW. I did a little change to the, you guys don't probably even know that I'm a little bit tech savvy. I'm a little tech savvy. I set up the live streams. Yeah. So I changed the setting in the live streams. I want to tell you a little bit about it, what I did. First of all, I changed it to low latency, ultra low latency, which basically means there's minimal lag time. We used to have like 10 seconds or maybe more lag time between actual what I'm saying and by the time you see it. So what would happen is I would be like, hey, everyone, who remembers the name of whatever? Like I would think of some reference and I couldn't remember what it was. Could somebody Google that and put it in the chat? And then it would see like 20 seconds later, someone would respond. But the reason was because there was a lag. I removed the lag. I'm going to test it out right now. You're going to see that I removed the lag. Okay, so watch this. If you know why I have a giant fruit basket on my desk, please write the name of the Jewish holiday that was today. Let's see how quickly it goes. All right, now I have to fill in something else while you're typing. I have to tell you something else. I changed the setting on the comments, the live chat, not the comments, because you could comment later when. After this live is finished, it'll go up as a video that anyone can watch the replay and they could comment. But I'm talking about the live chat. I changed the setting on the live chat that only members of the channel can post in the live chat. Why did I do that? Because I figured if I'm going to remove the latency, or go ultra low latency where it's like really live, this is happening in live time. I don't want any trolls, basically. I'm just going to say it. I don't want any trolls posting in the live chat or nudniks or spammers or bots. So you have to be nudniks or spammers or bots. I don't want them. So I changed it to you have to be a member. Now, to be a member, you have to pay. I don't think it's a lot of. I don't remember how much money it is. The lowest level membership. There's Zahav, Kesef, and Necheshes, which is gold, silver, and copper. I think the lowest level membership is like a couple dollars a month. I don't remember what it is. Why am I doing this? Is this a money grab? Am I trying to get money? Well, I don't mind the money. I mean, we do need money. I mean, it costs money. We're reaching 10 million people a month, JFYI. That's another one, BTW, JFYI. We reach 10 million people a month. And I know everyone thinks I'm just doing this on a smartphone, just one dude by himself, but there's a whole team here. And so, yeah, we do need money. And so, yeah, if you can give me a couple bucks, it'll be spent on spreading the message far and wide. But that's not the real reason I did it. I wanted to make sure, see, I figured that someone who's just a troll is not going to go to the trouble of giving me money, signing up, and giving me money and for fun. Yeah. So, as you see, all right, I'm looking in the chat. So, I think M. David is Moshe David. He wrote that it's Thu Shvat, okay? And there is Moonlight's $2 Moonlight, or Monique, always, she has a custom. She always gives a donation whenever there's a live show. We always appreciate it. We're going to call her out, and we want to give you your credit where credit is due. Thank you so much. Noah's saying, cherries everywhere up there. Yeah, have you been there? I guess Noah's been there. I think Noah's used to live in Michigan, or do you live in Michigan, or East Lansing or something? I don't want to dox you. Okay, I'm sorry. I take that back. Okay, at any rate. But Noah wrote 15. Yeah, 15 was code for the 15th day of Shvat. Okay, cool. What's that basket on your desk? Yes, so let's talk about it. I want to talk about the basket on my desk. This basket was donated by CoalSave. I tried to buy it, but they were like, you know what? Just give us a shout out. It's okay, Rabbi. So CoalSave is my favorite kosher grocery store in the world. Now, it happens to be in Five Towns, and so it's close to me, but I would go there. If I think if I lived in Muncie, I would drive to Five Towns just to go to CoalSave. I think if I lived in New Jersey, I would drive to Five Towns just to go to CoalSave. CoalSave is the best kosher grocery store I think I've ever been to in my life. And there's a manager there. His name is Mendy Hertz, who is a dear friend of this program and of all of the SoulWords initiatives. And I called him up. I was like, Mendy, Thursday night, we got a call-in show. It's Tu B'Shvat. Can you hook us up? And he's like, say less. And that's what happened. So I've got this going on right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to do a little unboxing. How you like that? A little unboxing. All right. So this is probably going to make terrible noise. People with sensory issues, I'm so sorry. You know what? I think I'm just going to cut this. Okay? I think we're just going to cut it. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to have to get up. One second. Ugh. All right. Okay. Moshe says it's ASMR. Yeah. For the sensory people, well, different types of sensory people. For some of them, it's going to give them a meltdown. Other people, it's going to be ASMR. Here's a little ASMR for you. How you go? Okay. ASMR. Please let me know in the chat if you found that soothing or the opposite. Okay, so let's see what Mendy from CoalSave hooked us up with. And I may have to make a shechianu. Let's see, I'm not sure. I've got to see what's in here. I don't know what this is. I think Does anyone know what this is? Can you see it well enough? Someone let me know. Okay. See, Mendy, the problem is you didn't leave like the labels on it, so I can't know if it's. This is a kumquat. I love kumquats. I was once staying at someone's house in Long Beach, California, and they had a kumquat tree in the backyard, and they were like, Rabbi, have as many kumquats as you like. And I overindulged in the kumquats, and I ate I took a whole bag of them, like literally like a whole shopping bag full of them, and I ate like half the shopping bag on the flight back from LAX. And then the other half of it I shared with my kids. Okay. This, I don't know what this is, but this is substantial. Let's see. This is, what is this? This says Kiwano. I don't think I've had a Kiwano. Could somebody find out if Kiwano is a ha'etz? I assume that it is. What's this? I don't know. Doesn't have a label, sticker. I don't know what this is. If I don't even recognize it, should I assume that I need to make a shechiano? What are these? Physalis. Physalis. These are cute. These are adorbs. They have like leaves around them. Like, then you open it up. You got like a little orange berry in there. Physalis. This is passion fruit. I don't know what this is. Let's see what this is here. Doesn't say what it is. Okay. This I think is called an Asian pear. Oh, it says it here. Sand pear. Sand pear. Hope it doesn't have sand in it. Okay, what is this? This is a papaya, golden papaya. Papaya is probably the least exotic fruit in here, because I'm sure I've had papaya before. What's this? Is this the same as this? Are these the same species? Or are these different? I think there's like a lot of shechiano opportunity here. What's this? I'm going to guess this is dragon fruit, but I'm not sure. Dragon fruit. Yeah, this is dragon fruit. This is a dragon fruit. And what's this? I don't know. It's very hard, though. Okay. Now, I got to tell you, I really don't know what to do over here. But I want to make a ha'etz and a shechiano. What's this? This is Ecuador Premium Equa Fresh Fruits, but what is it? It's from Ecuador. Just says Ecuador Premium. Okay. I don't know which one I should make a ha'etz on. I really don't know. This one, oh, that's a papaya. I'm afraid to make shechiano papaya because I feel like I've had it. Kiwano. I don't think I had a kiwano. Yeah, is a kiwano ha'etz? Where does a kiwano grow? Kiwano. Horned melon. It's also called a horned melon. What's the bracha on it? We got to Google. I just got to make sure it's not a ha'adama. It could be ha'adama. I want to see how they grow. I need to see how they grow. Kiwano tree. Do they grow from a tree? Or do they grow on the ground? Like you guys understand Jewishly why I'm asking this, right? Because I have to know if it's a ha'etz or a adama. On a vine. Yeah, I'm looking at the picture someone sent me on a vine, but it looks like, so a horned melon, but I think it's a adama. So I don't want to make ha'etz on that. What should I do? What is this? It's 4793. Do you guys know, I just found out recently, this blew my mind, that the codes that grocery stores use for produce are uniform across all stores. So like if you worked at Aldi and you memorized it, you could go work at Jewel. You guys don't even know what Jewel is, do you? Okay. Oh, this is so cool. I just Googled produce 4793 and I got red tamarillo. And it is. I look at a picture of it, red tamarillo. Can we find out if a red tamarillo, okay, or maybe they pronounce it tamarillo. What's the bracha on a red tamarillo? Because if it's a eights, I'm gonna be doing that. Okay. And then we also got here a 6017. We're gonna see what's a 6017. A 6017 Google didn't know what it was. Okay. But this Ecuador thing, what is this? 4333. It's called a pepino. Okay. I'm going to either do the pepino or the red tamarillo. Tonight is our 10th show, by the way. The red tamarillo grows on a tree. Yisrael, thank you for sending me a picture of it. Can we, a red tamarillo. Red tamarillo. And what was the other thing? Was a pepino? Red tamarillo tree. Red tamarillo tree. Save image. Hold on. Whoa, pepino tree. A pepino tree. Okay, now forget about that. Now watch what I'm going to do. So I'm doing all this by my lonesome. Okay. I don't have a crew in here. Okay, watch this. Yeah. How do I do this? Just one second. Okay. This is going to be so cool. Guys, I did this on the fly. Watch this. Hold on. Okay, guys, watch this. I think it's going to work. And I'm going to be so proud of my tech savviness. What? No. Didn't work. Hold on. Hold on. How do you do this? No one's getting bored, are they? There's no way anyone would be getting bored with this. So interesting. Okay. That's just fading out. I got to remember how to do this. I want to show you something. Media player. Yeah. Forget how to do it, though. Media. Yeah. Okay. Switcher. It's not as simple as you guys think. Okay. No. How did I show images before? I remember I did it. Hold on. Did I do it? I think I did it. I think I did it. I got it. Look at that. No, did it work? Did it work? Guys. I'm trying to show you a picture of the tree. I'm not getting it right. I don't know why not. So annoying. All right. I'm really disappointed. Oh, I did it! There you go. There you go. That's it. Okay. Oh. Yagaiti umatsasi tamin. If somebody says that they toiled and they achieved, believe them. Yagaiti umatsasi tamin. Yagaiti umatsasi tamin. Yagaiti umatsasi. Yagaiti umatsasi tamin. Okay, we did it. And that wasn't boring or awkward at all. So thank you for sticking with me. And now, just like it took me 20 minutes to figure out how to show you that picture, it's probably going to take me 20 minutes to stop showing you that picture. But let's see. I'm back. Okay. That was totally worth it. And now you see how the beautiful red tamarillo grows in its natural habitat. And now we're going to make a bracha. And as my kids always ask me, Tati, do you make the shechianu or do you make the ha'etz first? Which one do you do first? So the answer is that we make the ha'etz and then we make the shechianu. That's how we do it. Okay. There's 2 callers waiting since 9 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to do the fruits later. Yisrael says there are callers waiting. Fine. So let's take the callers, and we'll come back. We'll do a fruit after the callers. All right. Caller number 1. Yisrael, please put on the first caller.
Okay, for our first caller tonight, we have Jody. Welcome, Jody.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, yes, hello.
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 Hi. Did you see my fruit basket?
Oh, yes, beautiful.
I got it at Coal Save. It's my favorite kosher grocery store.
Yes. Which one of the 5 towns is that in?
I think it's in Inwood because you have to go across the Rockaway Turnpike to get to it.
Oh, okay.
It might be Lawrence, though. I don't know. I never can tell when I'm going across those little boundaries. Yeah. Anyways, but we could talk about Coal Save and the 5 towns and fruit baskets all night. But you called in for a reason, so let's talk about what you wanted to talk about.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm honored to be a caller on your show.
Thank you.
What I wanted to ask your guidance about is this. I feel that God is trying to send me so many beautiful blessings. He already has. And sometimes I get the feeling that maybe I'm blocking them due to feelings of unworthiness. And I would like to know how I can make it easier for God to bestow the blessings on me that he is trying to bestow. Because sometimes I get the inkling that my own doubts and feelings of inadequacy or unworthiness, as unfounded as they may be, are blocking, are creating an obstacle, like a wall between me and the blessings he is trying to bestow on me and on my life. That he's trying to bring into my life.
Yes. Wow. Okay. So first of all, for everyone listening, this is a real concept. This is not just our callers' feelings. Like, this is a real concept. It speaks about this in Kabbalah and Chassidus. One of the sources for it is actually a teaching from Levi Yitzchak Berditchever, who explains in the name of the Baal Shem Tov. Oh. Yes, he says in the name of the Baal Shem Tov that there's a verse in Psalms, in Tehillim. It says, Hashem tzilcha, Hashem is your, well, you could translate the word tzeil as shade. And I think more conventional understanding of that verse is Hashem is your protective shade. But the Baal Shem Tov taught Hashem tzilcha, tzeil, it can also be a shadow. Hashem is your shadow. What does it mean, Hashem is your shadow? That just like your shadow perfectly mimics all of your movements, the way that Hashem runs the world is that he reciprocates. He mirrors, he matches. So what we project is what we get back. Yes. So it's a real concept. And specifically, when we are happy and joyful and full of gratitude, then more cause for happiness and joyousness and gratitude comes at us. And if God forbid the opposite, we could actually initiate a vicious cycle, which is difficult to break. So what you're describing is very real. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. I don't want to argue with you, but I'm going to argue with you. You sound like you are grateful.
Well, thank you for saying that. And that is an excellent point.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. I am very grateful for what God has given me. I just feel that sometimes I get the feeling there's so much more. And he's just trying to say, Jody, allow the good to come into your life. I'm trying to bring even more good into your life. But if you don't think you're worthy of receiving it, then I can't bring it into your life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So first of all, there is more because God is infinite. So there's always more. But let's talk about this. So you do have the gratitude. Absolutely, you have the gratitude. But the gratitude is sort of intermingled with another feeling, which we'll call self-doubt, where you are so appreciative of your blessings and you see your blessings and you're counting your blessings, but at the same time, you have this feeling of, you called it unworthy, that you're not worthy of the blessings, and you're worried that because you're not feeling worthy of the blessings, that could be an impediment to receiving more of the blessings. I hear that. Okay.
That is exactly correct.
Okay. I'm glad that I understood it, but you made it really easy to understand because you're extremely articulate. So let me suggest something to you. I'm going to sidestep the whole thing. I'm not going to even deal with the unworthiness because we could talk about self-esteem and I could try to boost your self-esteem, but I think we could just sidestep it. We don't even need to go there, and I can give you a hack. Are you interested in a little hack that might work here?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, great. So in order to explain this to you, I'm going to have to back up, and I'll talk in general about prayer. What's the deal with prayer? Isn't it selfish to give God a shopping list? Like, give me this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Like, if we're really God-conscious people, we should just show up and say, God, thank you for everything. And I put myself in your hands and do whatever it is that you want to do. And yet we are told to pray. Yeah, I know. And yet we are told to pray. And we're, according to many opinions, it's actually one of the 613 commandments is to express our needs, to turn to God and ask for our needs. So how do we reconcile that? Is it selfish to pray and to ask God for our needs, or is it proper? So the answer is like this. It depends why you're asking. It depends why you're asking. There's, I don't think a lot of people realize that one of the models, like archetypes for prayer in Judaism, is Hannah, the mother of Shmuel or Samuel. She was a prophetess and a very holy woman. And in the book of Samuel, it describes when she was barren and she went to the sanctuary in, we call it Shiloh, or the anglicized version is Shiloh, but Shiloh reminds me of a Civil War battle. So Shiloh, Mishkan Shiloh, she went to the sanctuary in Shiloh, and she was praying for a child because she was barren. She was praying for a child. And this is before she conceived Shmuel, the prophet, Samuel. So the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, his name was Eli, and he comes in, and he saw her praying, and it says that her lips were moving, but she didn't make a sound. Now, if you've ever seen Jewish people praying, especially what we call Amida, which means standing, because it's the standing prayer, it's the central prayer where you stand, you'll notice that we move our mouths, but we don't make a sound. It's silent prayer. And that's because we are imitating how Hannah prayed. So Eli, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, he's the one who runs the sanctuary. He comes in, he sees her praying, moving her mouth, not making a sound, and she's sort of like murmuring to herself. Like, that's what it looks like. Because we started praying this way after her. So before that, it wasn't like a known thing. So he didn't know what she was doing. He thought she was like maybe like talking to herself. So he asked her, "Are you drunk?" And she says, "No, I'm not drunk. I'm a brokenhearted woman, and I'm praying for a child." Now, I'm going to just cut to the chase here. But if you learn the laws of the Holy Temple, you will know that if somebody is drunk, they are not asked if they're drunk. They're immediately removed. So he didn't really mean, are you drunk? Like intoxicated with alcohol. He meant, are you being indulgent? Are you spiritually drunk? You're in the holiest place in the world. The Mishkan was the sanctuary. That's where the Holy of Holies was, where God's presence was revealed in this world. You're in the holiest place in the world, and you're praying about what you need. Like, is that appropriate? So it's drunk. It's spiritually drunk. It's indulgent. It's self-absorbed. So she says to him, "Let me tell you something. I'm praying for a child." And he's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're coming to God with your needs." She says, "But no, listen." The rest of the conversation, she says to him, "I want this child to give the child to Hashem. And as soon as he is able, I'm going to bring him here, and he will serve God here in this house," which is exactly what happened. She raised him until he was until he was self-sufficient, and she brought him to the sanctuary, and he lived there. He lived there. Samuel lived there. He was raised there. And so basically what was she saying to him? She was saying, yes, I'm asking for a child. You think I'm asking for a child from me? It's not from me. It's for God. I want to give this to God. That's my gift. If God gives me this child, then I have the ability to dedicate that child back to God. So when we imitate...
So it's of a pure motivation.
Yes, completely.
Not a selfish motivation.
Correct. Yeah. Real altruism, where our only concern is to be givers. So it's interesting. If you ask God, make me rich. Why? Because I want to be rich. It's a little bit self-indulgent. But if you say, God, give me the opportunity to give you my wealth, to dedicate wealth to charitable causes. So then I'm asking to be a giver.
I see. That's extremely insightful and helpful.
Let's go back to your issue, and maybe even you could intuit why I say this will be a hack. Because your problem is you're not sure if you're worthy of more blessings. So how does this clear that up and avoid the whole issue?
Because that's kind of not relevant necessarily, it seems.
You got it.
Because
you nailed
this is for...
No, say it to everyone else, because everyone else is listening. They want to understand it.
Thank you. Because whether or not I am worthy is not relevant to God. Well, he believes we are all worthy. The prayer must be for the higher good, in order
hold
if he's
on.
going to
Repeat that phrase. Hold on. That was a great phrase. Could you say that again?
Thank you.
I want everyone to hear that. Just the prayer must be for what?
The higher good.
I love it. I love it. Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Keep going. You're doing great.
Thank you. Thank you. So whether or not I'm worthy is like a little, is not relevant in God's eyes, because God is saying, if I say a prayer, if one says a prayer for the higher good, something that I will be able to gift back to God, then that prayer will be answered whether or not I may see myself as worthy.
You got it. You nailed it. Yeah. Can I tell you one of my favorite parables?
Yes.
Okay. This parable is about a guy. It's not a real guy. It's just a parable. He's a parable guy. And he's driving in the car one night. What was his name? Whatever you want it to be. Okay. He was driving in a car one night, and he was hating life. He was miserable. And he wasn't a big believer, but he was so miserable with his life, he actually murmured a prayer. And he said, God, I hate my life. Give me a new life. And in the middle of the car,
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's just a parable. Don't get too excited. And in the middle of, in the middle of the car, God starts speaking to him. You remember, like John Denver? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
See, I really appreciate the callers to this show. A lot of times I'll drop a reference like that. People won't know what I'm talking about. Remember when John Denver was in the car and George Burns started talking to him?
Yes.
I love it. Okay, fine. So, and people who don't know what I'm talking about, you just go Google John Denver driving the car, George Burns talking, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so anyways, this guy's in the car, and he's like, oh, God, I hate my life. Give me a new life. And what do you know? God answers him in the middle of the car, and he says to him, a new life? A new life? Yeah, sure. You're in luck. Today, I have a new life for a very reasonable price. The guy says, what? How much is that? And God says, well, how much you got? The guy's like, I got about $20 on me. God says, okay, give me the $20. The price of your new life is $20. The guy's driving. Remember, he's like, he looks at the gas tank and he's like, but I'm running out of gas. I need to put more fuel in the tank. And if I give you my $20, that's all I have. I won't be able to get more gas. God says, oh, you have a car. Price for your new life just went up. It's $20 in your car. The guy says, hold on a second. If I give him my car, how am I going to get to work in the morning? God says, oh, you're gainfully employed. Yeah, so the price for your new life has gone up again. It's $20, your car and your job. The guy says,
wow.
The guy says, if I give you my job, how am I going to pay the mortgage? Mortgage? Oh, you're a homeowner. Yeah. Seems that the price for your new life has gone up again, once more. The price for your new life is $20, your car, your job, and your house. The guy says, God, if I give you my house, where are my wife and children going to live? God says, oh, dear. The price of your new life has gone up again. It is $20, your car, your job, your house, your wife, and your kids. At this point, the guy realizes he better shut up, because every time he makes a comment, it's getting worse. So now he's not speaking.
Wow.
He says, So God says to him, all right. Now, you have any comments? You want to say anything? Okay. Now, before I give you your new life, I'm going to give you your brand new life. I need you to do a few things for me. Is that okay? The guy says, Okay. God says, first thing I want you to do, God says, you see this $20? It's not your $20, God says. It's my $20. Was your $20, and now it's mine. I want you to spend it for me. But it's my $20, God says. So you're going to spend it, but because it's mine, you can only buy things I want. Then God says, you see this car? It's not your car. It's my car now. I want you to drive it. But because it's my car, you have to drive it to places where I would want to go. God says, see this job? It's not your job. It's my job. But I want you to show up there every day and do business the way that I want business conducted. You see this house, God says, it's not your house, it's my house, but I want you to live in it, but I want you to live in it the way a house of God is lived in. open doors and hospitality. And you see this wife and children, this family. God says, they're not your wife and children. They're my wife and children, and I want you to treat them as such. Can you do all of this for me? The guy says, mm-hmm. God says, great. Then here's your $20. Here's your car. Here's your job. Here's your house. Here's your wife and kids. And here's your new life. The difference between the old life and the new life was simply ownership. To whom does it belong? In his old life, which he detested, it was all his. In his new life, he doesn't own a thing. It all belongs to God. But he is assigned with the holy task of making use of it. And that's all of us.
Wow.
That's all of us. All the blessings that you have, and I know that you're blessed and that you feel blessed, those aren't for you to use. Those are for you to give away. You know, I got my fruit basket here, and I'm thinking about fruits. You know, think about fruits, like a red tamarillo. And if you don't know what a red tamarillo looks like, just let me have fun here. You know, just, well, look, this is how they look when they grow on the tree. Look at that. Okay, I don't know if you're still watching, but okay. So the red tamarillo, gorgeous little fruit. But I want to tell you something. A red tamarillo tree doesn't eat red tamarillos. No, it doesn't. An apple tree doesn't eat apples. A plum tree doesn't eat plums. An orange tree doesn't eat oranges. The tree grows the fruit for others to consume. So your blessings are not for you. Your blessings were given to you as a stewardship that you are being entrusted by God to make good use of those blessings.
Oh, I love that perspective.
And if you are of service, then I want to tell you something. There's no limit to the amount of goodies that you can run to the back and, you know, go to the kitchen and grab as many platters as you want because you're coming out to serve God's kids.
That's a perspective of abundance.
There's no limit.
Right. I appreciate this so much because it's really changed my perspective, especially on prayer.
That's
and
great.
I really appreciate that because I'm going to have this in the forefront of my mind from now on when I pray.
That is so cool. That's great. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This was a
Wow,
wonderful
amazing.
discussion. Really appreciate it.
Amazing.
For me too. I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you so much. Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
Thank you for that call. That was amazing. We're going to go on to our next caller. Our next caller is Shmuley. Welcome, Shmuley.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Thank God
So,
I'm doing good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Good. I have a question. I'm asking on behalf of my wife, who
Okay.
is recovering from an eating disorder.
Okay.
And there's two parts. One is she's been going to a lot of therapy, and she wants to know when is there too much therapy? When is therapy too much? And the second one is just in general how to connect more to one's body.
Okay. So the question of like when is therapy too much or too much of it, or when you're doing it too much, it's a really hard question to answer, especially not knowing all the details. But even if I knew the details, I'm not sure I feel qualified to make a judgment call like that. But what I can say is this. I don't know if it's really a question of quantity, like too much, too little, as much as it is a question of quality, getting the right kind. So when you have the right kind of therapy that's really supporting you and giving you clarity, then, even a little bit of it can be extremely effective. And when you need more of it, even a lot isn't too much. But if it's not really the right thing, and then you just try to make up for a lack of quality by overdoing the quantity, sometimes that becomes a unique type of burnout, therapeutic burnout. I've seen that many, many times, where someone who's already emotionally taxed because they're dealing with whatever it is they're dealing with, and now they're engaged in a lot of therapy that is not really hitting the spot, and that becomes like a secondary source of burnout. So my real response to that would be like, I can't say there's too much or too little. What I can say is there's the right kind. And if she finds something that's really connecting with her and she feels like it makes sense to her and she feels like aligned with it, where it just feels right. I don't know how to explain it other than it feels right, meaning you feel that it's nourishing you. Like if you eat a meal and you finish eating and you're still hungry. So it's like a therapy where you do it and it's like at the end you still feel emotionally empty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that would be my answer, is just to find the right thing. There's so many different modalities and so many different approaches, and it's really unique to each person.
Right.
And you just got to keep trying different things till you find the thing that connects.
Part of it is that the therapy that she's been going through hasn't really aligned with her values.
Well, that's going to be an issue.
So that's been a...
If you're in conflict with the therapy and from a values perspective, that's going to be like, I don't want to call it a deal breaker, because I don't want to tell somebody to drop therapy until they have an idea of what else they would do. But yeah, definitely it's essential that it be aligned with your values. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Now, your other question is about what? Feeling more present in your body?
In general, how to connect to the body more.
Yeah, how to connect to the body more.
Yeah.
So what's interesting to me is, that question, I would just guess, take an educated guess, that question itself comes from some type of therapeutic experience. Meaning that's probably something somebody heard in therapy.
Right.
Right. Okay. So I'm correct about that. This is a really great concept, connecting with the body. Why did I think it came from therapy? Just because that language, because the wording used is more like wording that you would hear in therapy. But the reality is the concept comes from Torah, and more specifically comes from Chassidus, comes from Torah Baal Shem Tov, the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov, who taught that in contrast with many of the spiritualists that came before him, who were ascetics, who tried to attain spiritual refinement through negating their bodies, the Baal Shem Tov taught that we need to accept the body, to embrace the body, and to uplift it, to bring it along in the spiritual journey. And the successors of the Baal Shem Tov, the Chassidic masters through the generations especially, I would say the Lubavitcher Rebbe, the seventh Lubavitcher Rebbe, in his teachings regarding Mashiach and what we call Dira B'Tachtonim, a dwelling place for Hashem in the physical world, really, really stresses this concept of that Hashem wants us to be present in the physical world and for our souls to be fully aligned with our bodies, and that this is the ultimate expression of infinity, that the ultimate expression of infinity is specifically in the physical world because it is a finite realm. Time and space are limited. So the ultimate expression of infinity is when the unlimited can be present in the limited. And I know that's very philosophical talk, but I just wanted to make a point that being present in your body may be something that somebody heard in therapy, but the concept is much older than that, and it's a holy concept. Right. So the biggest way to be present in your body and connected with your body is to use your body the way that it was designed to be used, which is something called a mitzvah. Mitzvah directly translates to commandment, but we know that it's much more than a commandment. It is an action. Mitzvahs aren't ideas. They're not abstractions. Mm-hmm. They are actions. Mm-hmm. And by doing mitzvahs with our bodies, we align the soul with the body, and we fulfill the purpose for which we came to our bodies. So, like, literally getting up and moving your body to do the will of God is the most grounding thing that you can do for yourself. I was talking to some people the other night. I have this new thing called Soul Survivors. Actually, Yisrael, could you put maybe in the chat the link for Soul Survivors? There's this new group I have, monthly thing called Soul Survivors, SOUL Survivors, for like highly sensitive people and stuff. And we're talking about one of the things we can do to feel more connected to the body. I said that when you give charity, that it's good to do it as a repeated action, to do it at least on a daily basis. And like, hold on a second. Let me just grab this here. So I have on my wall, you can't see it because it's out of the camera shot, but I have on my wall the this pushka, this charity box. It's actually on my wall to turn the whole room into a charity box by extension. And like literally the physical act of reaching in your pocket, pulling out the money and putting it in is therapeutic. It's healing. It's somatic healing. So that's why, like, before we pray, we give charity. And before we study Torah, we give charity. And before you start to cook, you give charity. And before you start a business deal, you give charity. Because using your physical body in that way is so grounding. And it's not just that you physically take your hand and take the money and put it in the box, but also what the money represents. That's money that you earned with physical exertion. And then the money itself could have been spent on resources for your body. And then you take that and you convert it into a mitzvah, into something holy, and it refines the physicality in a very powerful way. So, yeah, mitzvahs, all types of mitzvahs, things that you do with your body, but especially charity. And especially acts of goodness and kindness. Get up, go visit the sick, make a meal for a woman who just gave birth and deliver it. Unfortunately, it happens, but when it does happen, to comfort mourners. I lost my father a couple of months ago, and I was sitting Shiva. I was in the 7 days of mourning, and the fact that people physically showed up. Yeah, and but you want to know something? It was very comforting how many people showed up that came to the home, and it was an amazing thing. It's like, just call, just send a text. That's how we all do things nowadays. And yet people physically showed up. And that's what a mitzvah is. It's physically showing up. I had a friend who told me once, and I never forgot it. He said, you could fake caring, but you cannot fake showing up. Like either you did or you didn't.
But I think that's the problem.
Go on.
That's it. There's a lot of demand to do things, but you can do it and be disassociated from the act. I think maybe more specifically the question is.
But that's okay.
Okay.
So let me explain to you why that's okay.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be so mindful. Bring your body and bring your body and bring it again and bring it again. Eventually, the mind and heart will be able to show up for it. The most powerful thing is to physically show up. See, if we do the reverse, where we try to get ourselves to be mentally and emotionally congruent with the act before we do the act, we're often waiting a long time, or maybe even waiting forever. It never happens.
Right.
But if you can just bring the body, the body's so powerful, it will draw the mind and heart after it. So it feels like being a hypocrite. You're doing it in a perfunctory way. I don't really want to be here. I'm forcing myself. It's okay. But you're doing it. You're really doing it. And it has such power, and it's so healing. It is so healing. You want to know something? So I told you I lost my father, so I'm in the year of mourning, so we don't attend festive occasions during this year. So I'm off the hook as far as going to weddings. But I want to tell you something. I learned only in the past few years how important it was for me to go to weddings. It's a mitzvah, it actually is. It's to celebrate with the bride and groom. And I avoided it because I don't like crowds, and I don't like leaving the house if I don't have to, and I don't like loud noises, and there's always music, and it's loud. And I don't like social interactions, and you go to a wedding, you're going to have 100 different social interactions. But I realized that showing up at people's simchas, at their happy occasions, like, it means so much. And I had to sort of realize that it's not so important for me to be emotionally and intellectually congruent with this. It's important for me to be physically congruent by showing up. And by showing up, I want to tell you something. Since I started doing this just really in the past few years, it changed me. I have come to appreciate it more. And I don't think I would have come to appreciate it if I hadn't just forced myself to start.
Okay. Makes sense. What are some ways to get out of the mind and get into the body, just doing?
Doing something for others, because that really gets you out of your head. Showing up for others. And it could be your own children, but doing something for someone else is the best way. Like, when we get deep into that spiral, into that rumination, and we need to just break it, show up and do something for somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Much success to you and to your wife. Thanks for calling in.
Your wife. Thanks.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Okay, Yisrael, what's up? You have more callers? I didn't look on the Google sheet or doc or whatever it is.
Do you want to do a fruit,
A fruit?
Shechianu, and
Shechianu? Yeah. Okay, fine. No problem. I'm happy to do some fruit. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I just want to tell you we're getting a lot of Canadian money, and I appreciate it. So Monique gave her $1.99 Canadian. Now we got from Marsha Beck $2.79 Canadian, and that is very exciting. We love the Canadian money because it's pretty, it's colorful. Why can't American money be pretty and colorful? Why does it have to be so Spartan? You can't answer that. Okay, so let's do some fruit. Okay. Let's do some fruit. Let's do some fruit. Here you go. This is called a red tamarillo. A red tamarillo. Where do red tamarillos grow, Yisrael? Could you find out for me where they grow? This is what they look like when they grow on the tree. Gorgeous. Okay. Where do red tamarillos grow? Does anybody know? Could they write it in the chat, perhaps? All right, here we go.
South America, New Zealand, Australia, and the United States.
I wonder where they're indigenous to, because South America and New Zealand, I doubt they're indigenous to both places. They probably started in one place and were brought to the other. Can you find out where they're indigenous to?
Indigenous. Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia.
Yeah, and then they were brought to New Zealand. Can you find out if a Granny Smith apple is indigenous to New Zealand or if it was brought there, please? I'm betting it was brought there because I think apples are from Europe.
The Granny Smith is an Australian native.
I don't believe it. I think it was brought to Australia, like the Australians. I don't believe it. I don't believe there's an indigenous apple to Australia.
You're arguing with Google.
You want to know about arguing with Google? I wanted to see how much a parking ticket was in Cedarhurst. Okay, let's just have a little bit of fun here. Who wants to have some fun? Who wants to have a little bit of fun? A little bit of fun. All right, hold on a second. We're gonna have a blast over here. Yeah, okay. We're gonna have a blast. Don't doubt me. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. 1 second. I got to do this. I got to do what I got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Okay? And if you got to leave, I understand. You could leave. There'll be no hard feelings. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. Okay, so I had to pay a Cedarhurst parking ticket, and it was like $75 by the time I paid for it. And I was like, man, that is rough. Like, how much was it originally? I want to know how much it was originally. How much? Because they raise it. And I was like, what was it originally? Was it $40? Was it $50? Like, because by the time I paid it, it was $75. So I Googled how much are Cedarhurst parking tickets. So this is what I get. One second. Okay. So it says, in the village of Cedarhurst, New York, a first offense for violating parking regulations can result in a fine of at least $500. I don't know how they know if it's your first offense. Sounds more like a criminal thing than like a parking ticket, but okay. Subsequent offenses can result in higher fines. First offense, at least $500 fine for violating parking regulations. Second offense, at least $1,000 fine if committed within 18 months of the first offense. Third offense, at least $1,500 fine if committed within 18 months of the first offense. Other penalties, in addition to a fine, a person may also be imprisoned for up to 15 days for a first offense. We're talking about parking in Cedarhurst. They will put you in prison. And I don't really think they'll put you in prison for 15 days. I think that's more like a county lockup type thing, like 26 in California. You guys from Chicago know 26 in California, right? Who else knows 26 in California? Okay. For a second or subsequent offense, a person may be imprisoned for up to 45 days or 90 days, respectively. Metered regulations are not in effect on Sundays or major legal holidays. And then at the bottom, it says, generative AI is experimental. So I am going to pray that the case here is that was just AIing, and that there is no basis in reality. I hope that they're not giving people $1,500 fines for parking in Cedarhurst or putting them in the county lockup in the Huskow for 15 days. You know where the word Huskow comes from? That's cowboy slang. Cowboys call jails Huskow. Put them in the Huskow. You know where it comes from, Huskow? It is a gringo pronunciation of Huscado. But they would hear, you're talking about the cowboys, they dealt with a lot of Spanish speakers because, that part of United States was like, well, actually used to belong to Mexico, a lot of it. So they would hear that term, Huscado, and they would say, oh, Huskow. They just kind of slurred it, Huskow. Put them in the Huskow. Okay. So, who's ready for this? Ready for this? Okay. Oh, you said I'll pull it up. The Granny Smith cultivar originated in Eastwood, New South Wales, Australia, now a suburb of Sydney, in 1868. Its discoverer, Maria Ann Smith, had emigrated to the district from Beckley, East Sussex in 1839 with her husband, Thomas. Okay. But here's the deal. I still don't believe. All right, let's just read. The first, because I don't believe that any apples are indigenous to Australia. Maybe that what do they call it? Breed? They don't call it a breed. Species? Not a species. What do they call them? What do they call different types of apples? Breeds? There's a word for it. Can someone find out what the word? By the way, what is the worst type of apple? Red Delicious. It is not delicious. It tastes like paper. It's awful. The first description of the origin. So I don't believe any apples are indigenous to Australia, but I do believe that maybe that the first time the Granny Smith breed was bred was in Australia. But I don't believe that apples, I believe they had to bring the apples from Europe to Australia, and then they messed around with different types of apples till they got the Granny Smith. Okay. At any rate, I'm starting to think that this Maria Ann Smith may be the aforementioned Granny Smith. Let's find out if she was a grandmother or if she just liked being called Granny. The first description of the origin of the Granny Smith apple was not published until 1924. In that year, Farmer and Settler, which is the name of a magazine, published the account of a local historian who had interviewed two men who had known Smith. One of those interviewed recalled that in 1868, he, then 12 years old, and his father had been invited to Smith's farm to inspect a chance seedling that had sprung near a creek, and chance seedling is clickable. Yisrael, can you just click chance seedling and find out what a chance seedling is? Smith had dumped there among the ferns the remains of, here we go. Smith had dumped there among the ferns the remains of French crab apples that had been grown in Tasmania. Now, there's a lot of unpacking there because they'd been grown in Tasmania. This is in Australia, but they're not from Tasmania either, are they? No, they're not. They're from France. How do I know they're from France? Because they're called French crab apples. Like I told you, apples are from Europe. So basically, these French crab apples were brought from France to Tasmania, then back to mainland Australia, specifically New South Wales. And she dumped some French crab apples among the ferns where the red fern grows. Don't cry. Another story recounted that Smith had been testing French crab apples for cooking and throwing the apple cores out her window as she worked. Had found that the new cultivar had sprung up underneath her kitchen. Okay, so I feel vindicated because basically what we're saying here is that she was messing around with apples. However you want to say, she threw them among the ferns, or she was cooking with apples and she was tossing the apple cores out her window, and that caused this new cultivar. Can you tell me what a cultivar is? Just cultivar is a variety of apple. Variety of apple. Mendy Hertz just texted me. They're called varieties. Varieties of apple. You know what my favorite varieties of apples are? I'll tell you, no particular order. I'm blocking. Can't remember now. But I hate the Red Delicious. And I'm only 50 years old. I'm not that old. I've experienced in my lifetime the degradation of the Red Delicious. They were better. They weren't so bad. Back in the 70s, they were decent. Now, they crumble apart in your mouth like sand. They taste like paper. You should just do away with the entire variety. Okay. A chance seedling is a plant that is the product of unintentional breeding. So what do you know? It's a little hashgacha pratis, little divine providence. That's really cool. A chance seedling may be genetically unique individual, be a genetically unique individual with desirable characteristics that is then intentionally bred. So you're like, wow, cool. Let's do this again on purpose. The kindred spirit hybrid oak and the Granny Smith, Wolf River, Lady Alice, Red Delicious, Gravenstein, Brayburn, Samerbush, Chassal, Colville Blanc d'Hiver, Belle de Bouscoup, and Baldwin apples are all examples of varieties that started with chance seedlings that were selected and assigned cultivar status owing to their desirable properties. Okay. So, at any rate, here we go. Red Tamarillo. I'm just going to show you a picture again of a red Tamarillo tree. Oh, no, that was the Cedarhurst thing. And they are really, I got to tell you, they are aggressive. That's the one thing, just, they are super aggressive about the parking tickets. Like, that's why, by the way, JFY, just going to CoalSave again, Mendy Hertz. That's why I go to CoalSave, because there's parking there. And I don't want to mention other places, but some places you go there and like you go run in for 2 minutes and you're looking at the meter and the meter says there's 1 minute left. And you're like, okay, but I'm just going to go in for 1 minute. And then you run in for 2 minutes and you come back out. The guy, he watches you like a hawk. It's predatory. I do want to say that. I feel that it's predatory. I do feel that way. I feel that way. And those are my feelings. I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, this is the red Tamarillo. See? Gorgeous. All right. So here we go. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'etz. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam she'achiyanu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lizman hazeh. Don't eat off the knife like that. Not bad. Not bad. Pretty good. It's red Tamarillo. Let's try some other stuff. This is the Ecuador thing. What did we say it was? What was the Ecuador thing? Still don't remember what it was called. Okay, we're going to try this. It's an Ecuador thing. Or did we have a Shiloh if it was Adama? I feel like we had a Shiloh if it was Adama. Okay, I don't know. Come back to this. Let's do a little sand pear. It's good. I like the sand pear. Moshe, is this ASMR? Listening to me chomping on a sand pear? Okay. This is a kumquat. I want to show you something. You guys probably, Monique is writing, they usually make juice from it. Make juice from what? What do they make juice from? So a lot of people are going to be shocked. They're like, don't do it. A kumquat, you eat the, you're going to say, you peel it because it's citrus fruit. No, you don't peel it. You don't believe me? You don't peel a kumquat. You eat them whole. I mean, you can cut it if you want, but you don't have to peel it. You don't have to take off the peel. You eat the peel. It's very thin and yummy. I'm going to show you. Wow. I got to tell you something. I love the tartness of a kumquat. I love it. So delightful. Let's do some of these little guys. What was this called? Physalis, Physalis, product of Colombia. This is really good. I like this. So this is all from Coal Save. If you would go to Coal Save, you'll be able to get this kind of quality produce for your home, for your family. I'm sure your kids would appreciate it. Imagine how your children would feel if you would come home this Shabbos with a bag full of rare fruits. You'd be a hero. Kids would love it. I can promise you that. Let's cut one of these. What is this called? Someone told me what it's called. Let's cut this. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay. It's like kind of white inside. Translucent white. Let me just eat this. So Monique says the tamarillos are often used for their juice. I would drink a whole cup of tamarillo juice, like for breakfast. I would enjoy that. I think I would enjoy it. Let me just... okay, a little more tamarillo. Yeah, it's got a weird taste. I don't think I would drink a cup of its juice, actually. I'm taking that back. And now I was just thinking to myself, what am I going to do with this, like 2/3 of a Tamarillo? It's all cut up. And I was like, you know what, after I'm done with the show, I'm going to go toss it out the door. And you know what I thought of when I imagined tossing a Tamarillo out the door, throwing it into the bushes?
Granny Smith.
Granny Smith. Well, actually, I thought about making a chance seedling. Can you imagine if, like, one day you go to the store and they're like, they call it like a Shais Taub. I am a grandfather, by the way. I know I look young. And you're like, what is this Shais Taub Tamarillo? Oh, it's a chance seedling. It's the variety that was cultivated after the Thursday night call-in show. Shais Taub threw a Tamarillo, 2/3 of a Tamarillo from Coalsafe, just tossed it out the window among the ferns, among the red ferns. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to our show. Ironically, we're ending now, so I don't know why I'm welcoming you. The last time we had the show, I think it went on for like 3 hours, and I feel like I may have set your expectations a little bit askew. Is that a real phrase? Setting one's expectations askew? I feel like I made you think that I could just rant for 3 hours and be semi-intelligible and semi-entertaining. I'm not sure that I'm capable of that. And I don't think that we need to always do 3 hours of ranting. Although we did get some nice material out of that. I would ask you for requests or for prompts to get me going, but we have a very limited ability to take comments in the chat because Monique is writing, is it singing time? Well, if you insist, we could sing a song, sure. And so as I mentioned, I'll do a song in a minute. But we got, with God's help, I mentioned that we limited the live chat to people who are members of the channel. So I don't know how many people are members of the channel, probably like 10 people, and like 3 of them are here right now. So I don't know how many people are really capable of commenting, but yeah, that's the deal. Okay, we're going to sing a little song. We're going to sing a song. Can you please tell us a story before the singing? Yeah, sure. Of course I can tell you a story before the singing. Of course. The story is that, actually, this is a story from the Talmud. Oh no, all the anti-Semites are going to come. The Talmud. Okay. Yes, I'm going to tell you a story from the Talmud. The story is that there were 2 rabbis who were taking, one was taking leave from the other. And you can check this out. This is the Gemara in Tainus, which is a Talmudic tractate about fast days. And it's on Daf Hey, Omid Base. That means folio 5b. Anyways, so this one rabbi was leaving this other rabbi, and he's like, give me a blessing. He's like, you want to bless it? Come on, it's locked. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Take these ones. These are good. Come on. Just come on the screen for a second. Okay. Randy Hertz is here. Hold on a second. Okay. What? You're hiding? Just go in front of the camera for 1 second. Just show everyone that you brought me the apples. Just go on the screen. Just get into the camera. You got to duck down. Get into the camera. You got to show the apples.
Yisrael, he's not here?
Yisrael's not here. No, he's texting me.
It's bad.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, there was a little bit of mold on one of the kumquats,
They were good,
but
yeah.
I didn't
They
show
were
that.
good yesterday.
Yeah, they were good yesterday.
Okay, these are not Red Delicious. These are Honeys.
Honey Crisp.
No.
Oh,
These are Honey Crisp on crack.
what is Honey Crisp on crack?
These come around as often as the Cubs win a World Series.
What is this?
There's like once a year for like a month. They're called like a
Honeys.
honey, but like a with a lot of N's.
HUNNYZ, honeys.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. The honeys.
Savage.
Okay.
Your thumb.
Okay. Never ask a man how to knife fight. Okay.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Was I making it up? It is a good one. It's legit, no?
It's a good apple. It's crisp. You hear that?
We have them for like a month a year. I'm too tall for this.
We're gonna do a little apple ASMR.
These are my favorite.
Yeah, those are good.
Golden gooseberries are like tart and sweet.
Wait. Silence. Listen to this. I'm gonna crack honeys. I'm gonna do a little ASMR here. I'm gonna crack it. Listen. Oh, hold on. I jiggled the mic.
And it took energy. You can see you're struggling. Didn't you eat your Wheaties today? By the way, this is a golden. This is like a golden. Yeah, that's good.
This is a good apple.
Honeys, they're only around for like a month or so. Then they're gone.
Not pulpy like a Red Delicious.
No.
Good
It's
stuff.
called a mealy, no? It has like that.
Mealy.
That's the texture.
Mealy, yeah. They crumble. I'm gonna tell a story and you're gonna sing the song. So, but let's start thinking of the song, and you're gonna sit in my seat. Yeah.
That's why I didn't show up the chakra.
Okay. So this one rabbi is leaving this other rabbi. He's like, "Give me a blessing." He says, "Okay, I'll give you a blessing, but before I give you a blessing, I'm going to tell you a story." Great, story time. I don't like stories. It's once upon a time, there was a guy who was hanging out under a tree, and he had eaten from the fruits, and he had luxuriated beneath the tree, and he really enjoyed his little time by the tree. And as he got up from the tree, he says to the tree, Elon, not Elon Musk. Elon, that means tree, oh tree. B'meh avorechacha, with what shall I bless you? What blessing should I give you? Shall I bless you that your fruit be sweet? Your fruit is already sweet. Should I bless you that your shade be plentiful? Your shade is already plentiful. Should I bless you that a pleasant stream runs by underneath you? It already is a pleasant stream that runs by underneath you. Rather, I bless you that all of the trees that grow from your seed should be just like you. And the rabbi understood that his friend who was taking leave from him was telling him, I can't bless you with any qualities that you don't already have because you have it all. What do you get? What do you get for the man who has it all? Penicillin. Okay. I can't bless you with any qualities that you don't already have because you already have all the great qualities. But I can bless you that all of your children should have these qualities as well. That's the greatest blessing. And who doesn't want a blessing for their children? Everyone wants a blessing for their children. We don't want a blessing for ourselves. We want our blessings for our children. We were talking about before, about Chana. It's all about service. It's all about what we can do for others. Having children who serve Hashem is the greatest calling, it's the greatest purpose. And that's what we all strive for. Okay. Mandy, come on over. Come on, sing a song.
Were you going to sing that song?
I don't know what song. I don't know it. Come.
Not a nigga, though. I don't know.
It's okay. Crowd loves it. They love you. They love you.
Really? You went through the pit? Come on. What are we doing?
You can put on the headphones if you want.
I don't know what the headphones do.
You don't.
I think I outweigh this chair. Destroying it. Okay, what are we doing here tonight?
You're gonna sing a song.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was waiting for you. Welcome to the...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys
Tag
and girls,
team
children of all
champions of the
ages,
world.
welcome to the show.
Okay. What are we doing?
You're singing a song.
Mila nila bamo avarechecha bamo avarechecha Ilan ilan bamo avarechecha Bamo avarechecha Sheyehu peidosecha mesukim. Harei peidosecha mesukim. Sheyetzilcha noe. Harei tzilcha noe. Sheyehu peidosecha mesukim. Harei peidosecha mesukim. Sheyetzilcha noe. Harei tzilcha noe. Oy elo, elo, yiratzon. You hear it? Elo, elo, yiratzon. Shekol, shekol, netiyos. Shenoitim mimcha hiyu kemaischa. I'm dying up here.
Amen. Okay, that was a good warm-up. Good warm-up.
That was the song. That was the story.
Amazing. That was amazing. That was the song. That was the story. So if people didn't understand the words, that was exactly the words from that story, from the Talmud. Have you heard about the Talmud?
I've heard about the Talmud. You didn't get into this one? The mangosteen?
No.
Snapple has a flavor, mangosteen.
It was... I was intimidated by the hard shell.
What happened to the old days where we just got a star fruit and a sabra and you were good?
Yeah.
I didn't find out what this was till I was 17 in yeshiva in Europe.
What happened to the old days when you could use just a pomegranate as your new fruit?
A pomegranate, right.
Yeah. Now pomegranate is like... It's like an apple.
Now with travel, everything is like in season all year, it feels like.
So, did you hear me talking about throwing the red tamarillo out the window
Yes,
and
I did.
unintentionally starting a chance seedling?
I will bet that it won't sprout in cedar.
You think because it's too cold?
It has a nice pit. That's what I like about the lychee nut.
That's what it's called? Lychee nut? Mm-hmm. That was good. So we got the honeys, apples here. This was Gavalda.
Now they have, the lychee nut has like a cousin, so the hairy one, called the rambutan.
Rambutan?
Yeah.
Rasputin?
No, it's like a Rastafarian, long-haired lychee nut.
It's dreads.
Dreads, exactly.
Dreadlocks.
That, by the way, is very fun looking. It is the most bland, boring. It tastes like a cucumber.
Wow.
It's very cool, like green neon, like mucus seeds on the inside.
So it's deceptively interesting visually, but it's boring.
Quite tasteless, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed this one. You know this.
Oh, that was the big one. What is that?
That's a cacao pod.
What's it called?
A cacao pod to make make like cocoa beans.
Oh, this is how they make chocolate?
Well, you never done the Hershey Park trip? And they
No.
offer you chocolate at the end that you can't eat?
Oh, hold on. I had some carob, some Buxer.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Buxer.
Hold on a second. So, I bought this in Crown Heights yesterday. Some Buxer. I'm gonna
See, last year there was a shortage. I think everybody was panicking. Carob. It's awful, by the way. No offense.
look at this. Gorgeous Buxer.
Who ate Buxer? Rashbi?
Rashbi, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why we all think we have to eat it.
But I want to tell you something. That carob.
You know, there's these trees in Crown Heights. I think outside 770.
Yeah.
Where these things hang.
Yeah, but they're
look
not carob. They look like carob. Yeah, but they're really like, I think they're like locust trees or something. Okay, I'm gonna eat a little carob.
I didn't bring you tamarind. Tamarind's my favorite
Why don't you give me your favorite?
because it didn't come loose. It was in a big box, and I didn't think it would look nice in the. Even though I did give you a box of the gooseberries.
You got another song?
Not really.
Well, I'm chewing my carob.
Did you hear my? Do you hear me? I didn't.
I brought you water.
That's a start. Now this is some sort of something apple. I don't know. It only has Chinese lettering in it. By the way, not all numbers are universal. Like when we put these on,
Tell everyone about it.
4225 is. I know this because I like to
Talking
do all
to
the
the mic.
jobs. Talking to the mic. Yeah, a lot of numbers are universal because they come from the market like that. Bananas, 1, 2. No, bananas are not. They have numbers on them. But avocados all have 2 or 3 codes that are pretty much, I don't know, universal, but definitely in the States, maybe even Canada. This, I've never seen this one before in all my years of working in grocery business. Some sort of apple. I don't think it is an apple, or it's like the Asian pear is like called a Chinese apple. So it's like soft. Oh, it's pulpy.
Yeah, I'll show the camera.
Oh, look at
I'll show it close
that.
up.
That looks nice. That's like a fleshy pulp. I think this one's off. This. That looks like fun.
It looks like a type of a larva. You could trick kids. You could tell them like this is like
Something.
a butterfly chrysalis.
Is this a passion fruit? Not passion fruit. Is this a guava? This is a guava, and guavas for some reason are great as a flavor. They're terrible as a fruit.
Let's see.
They're bland.
Scoop it out.
You put like 1,000 grams of sugar in them. They're great in desserts and fillings.
This is a little guava.
People looking. Now these are like hit or miss. They're either like really tart or you get the sweet and tart ones.
Do you know how much I love kumquats?
I heard about it.
Yeah, I ate a whole.
I'm a very big texture person, and the idea of the peels puts me off.
I love it. I love that you don't have to peel them.
I feel like you're breaking a rule.
Grilling.
Okay, what's a good song? I'm taking requests now. It's gonna be a disaster. What is this? All going bad already. By the way, hack. You go to the local Asian stores. They always have these fun things all year round.
Ah. Now you're gonna ruin it.
You have to schlep there. Nobody's schlepping.
Where are the Asian groceries around here?
There's a couple. There's
Oh,
about.
probably Flushing.
No, even on the island, there's. Honestly, say that properly. There's by Town of Hempstead, by like Town of Hempstead courts and stuff. There's one. It feels like, by the way, I was in Hong Kong for 9 weeks. It's literally you go in there and you're through a portal.
In Hempstead, they have a
There's like a real Asian
real Asian
shop.
market?
Real Asian market.
like what market? You buy bats there?
I didn't check in the dark corridors, but yeah, it's very cool actually. You feel like you're out of miles away from New York. Like Long Beach. You ever go to Long Beach, and you feel like you're miles out of New York City?
Right. It's 10 minutes from here.
It's like a portal, and you're like, whoa, where
Yeah.
am I?
Yeah.
Are these really New Yorkers?
Right.
They're like, flip flops and surfboards.
Right.
Atlantic Beach, not as much. But you go to Long Beach, you're like, you may as well be in a different state.
You mean Long Beach, New York, not Long Beach, California.
Yeah, well, obviously Long Beach, New York.
You know who's
One
from
way.
Long Beach, California?
Who?
Snoop.
Who's from oh yeah.
I could say Warren G too, but Snoop is more well known. Sing a song.
What am I singing?
I laid the busters down. I let my cat explode. Go ahead.
No, I'm not a hip hop kid. What do I know? What do we got? And I have to lane this job. This is going to be brutal.
You do?
I don't have to, but
Not in Torah.
yeah, the 10 Commandments. What happened to Yisro? He goes back to Midian,
Yeah.
and he was done. We thought we got him.
Yeah. You did. He went on Shlichus.
Oh.
On Shlichus. Yeah.
Fishy is the first one?
Yeah, it was the first one going.
Left Avram.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. We're not doing much here. There's like dead air. Doge, huh?
Yeah. Sing us a song.
Sing us a song, you're the Chazan man.
Was that their thing? Was that like a
Yeah,
slide rock thing?
they drew that one up.
How do they do it?
Sing, it's not, I don't know, but sing us a song, you're the Chazan man.
That's great.
It's not great. I don't like it because now my kids think, Sound of Silence is kosher because 5 Jewish singers sing it.
Well, 2 Jewish singers are when it originated.
I know,
so.
but from singers.
Uh-huh.
It's about the sherish, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what do you have for us musically?
I don't know. I'm not good at this.
Okay, I'll give you a song.
Let's hear.
What do you do Rosh Hashanah when you have to put Nigunim in like Yom Kippur? You have to do all
I don't. That's why I daven inside, not outside.
Oh, you skip the Nigunim? You don't
No, I'm not a big niggin guy during davening. We've discussed
Just
this.
Nusa, pure Nusa.
I mean, I'll do it, but I'm not a. I don't like having to fit words in.
Even Modern Coin you don't sing? Life is how you sing.
You
do that?
As opposed to.
I don't know, just saying.
That's a little bit of it. No, it's certain ones,
Oh.
certain ones you have to hit.
Yeah, so you do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like saying, but by the way, people sing L'Chadaidi, and
Yeah.
40 years ago, well, not 30 years ago, they never sang L'Chadaidi, did they?
Just say it. Until the Lamets, they didn't sing
So I went to a shul, I went to a shtibel when I was younger, that used to do the Lubavitch L'Chadaidi. So when I was in yeshiva, I remember which kid my age knew L'Chadaidi as a saying. They knew it as a song.
Right.
But I had heard it growing up.
B'nai Shabbos,
Is it better this way?
Likras Kala, B'nai Shabbos, Nikabla. You just go like back and forth.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Okay. Let's give the people something. What are we giving them?
What do you have for us?
I'm not.
Something heartsick. You do a Stavya Pitu. You know all the words?
Oh.
You don't do that? Not your style.
No.
Okay. What about real Lubavitch Nigunim? That is Nigunim. You can do it Tzamaluch Nafshi. You can do it Tzamaluch Nafshi. But really do it. Can you really put yourself into it? We're going to make a clip from it.
Absolutely.
We're going to make a clip from it. Mandy, for the clip.
No. Go tikva faster.
What do you want to do?
I'll go back to
We're
work.
gonna go, but one more song before you go back to Kol Sev. Best. I told you I would drive 2 hours.
I was listening.
And you don't get tickets when you're
No.
parked there.
I have to tell everybody, it's 20. I have to tell people when they go to the other store, it's either 25 cents more or $50 more if you don't pay the ticket.
By the way, how much are the tickets?
$50.
$50. You saw
35 or 50.
You saw that generative AI thing that said that people get flogging for.
Yeah, I want to know why you didn't pay your ticket in time. This is why I don't pay the bills at home, because I'd be in the same position as you. I don't pay them, and I wouldn't have electricity on the house. That's where I'm holding.
Okay, so Purim is in less than a month. So you get at least you give us a V'hiba Mir Chashverish.
Do you know the song?
No.
Shoyeshanas Yaakov Etzavo Alo Vesavo Mevayicha Bira Yisam Yachad Et Cheyeles Mordechai Shoyeshanas Yaakov Etzavo Vesavo Mevayicha Bira Yisam Yachad Cheles Mordechai. Shoishanas Yaakov Tzalo V'somecha Biro Yisam Yachad Cheles Mordechai. Shoishanas Yaakov Tzalo V'somecha Biro Yisam Yachad Cheles Mordechai. Dididai Ladam. Dididai Ladam. Ladadai 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 Ladam. Dididai Ladadai Ladam. Teshua Sam Hayisa Lanetzach V'sigva Sam B'chol Dor V'Doid Teshua Sam Hayisa Lanetzach V'sigva Sam B'chol Dor V'Doid Lehoidia, I let it ram, Lehoidia, I let it ram, Shekol Koivecholo, Eloye Vaishu Veloy Komu, La Netzach, Shekol Koivecholo, Eloye Vaishu Veloy Komu, La Netzach. Shekol koivechalo yevaishu v'lo yikolmu lo netzach kol ha'chosim bach kol ha'chosim bach Arur Haman asher bikesh bikesh leyabedi Baruch Mordechai HaYehudi Am Ram Ram Ayaram HaYehudi Arura Zeresh Eshes Mafchidi Berucha Esther Badi I let it ram I let it ram did it ram did it ram Badi Arurim Kalarishaim Beruchim Kalatzadikim I let it ram I let it ram did it ram did it ram Kalatzadikim. Do you know the crescendo?
This? I never heard this before.
Really? Vegam echarvoy nazachur latoiv vegam charvoy nazachur latoiv Toiv ezachur latoiv I let it ram I let it ram I let it ram Zachur latoiv. There's one for this. They use this tune for Yiddish Kislev as well.
I only know the Shalom Karaton of Shoshanas Yankiv. You know that one?
Mm-mm. But they sing this for Yudis Kislev. They just switch the antagonist and the hero to the Alter Rebbe and. Never heard this. I mean, I never heard this till I was in yeshiva, so. That's the Purim song.
You don't know the Charaton of Shoshanas Yankiv? Yeah.
I'm not a big. I wasn't a big. What do they call the chayach thing? Chayach. I knew the ones my uncle sang. My great uncle. Yeah.
Okay, that was great. Perfect. I'm gonna close it out there. I can't top that. That was golden. Shoshanis Yankiv from Mendy Hertz comes by, he brings the honey's apples, and he sings the Shoshanis Yankiv. Givaldik, Shakaya. We're going to close up. I can't sing. I mean, I can't do after that. That was. We're going to leave you with the afikoyman, with the taste of the Mendy Hertz Shoshanis Yankiv in your mouth, and I'll do a little singing next week, God willing. That was good stuff.